starting work on the Lando version of the Falcon, pretty much the same way, or the same plan anyway, as the Force Awakens version. Starting out by going with a black wash over the cockpit interior details, since you're really not going to be able to see a whole heck of a lot in there. Got the figures going. We have Han, Lando, and Chewie. Lando's even got his trademark cape. The gunwales have gotten a black wash, as well as the seats, slowly but surely. Alright, while it won't be on display in the model proper, I figured I'd go ahead and assemble the interior, just giving the parts a black wash to bring out the details. Like I said, it probably won't be all that visible once we get the ship together, because I don't intend on opening that panel that lets you see it. But it's there. Alright, for what is likely the last time you'll be able to see these guys anything resembling clearly, we have the assembled cockpit of the Millennium Falcon, just waiting for the cockpit grill to go over it. Alright, as you can see, we've got the sidewalls up. These, this ship being newer, are not as beat up and exposed as the ones on the Force Awakens Falcon. There's a different docking port arrangement. And of course you've got your blue engine. All in all, moving right along. Alright, as you can see, detail pieces are now in place on the upper body of the upper part of the body, including the signature 6 vents, one feature that does not change between versions of this ship. Alright, at this point, the base Falcon herself is done. I still have to build the lifeboat, but all in all, it's looking pretty good. And here we are, Lando's version of the Falcon with the pod in place, giving it the distinct look that Lando's Falcon had in Solo: A Star Wars Story. Okay, this stage I've got the markings on and the weathering done on the Solo version of the Falcon, or as I like to call it, Lando's Falcon. As you can see, the blue markings across the top came out fairly nicely. Unlike with the Force Awakens Falcon, with this one, while I did do the black wash to help bring out the detail, I wiped off the excess wash to minimize the weathered appearance. Because after all, this ship has yet to go through the hells that Han has put it through. Inside the cockpit, we've got Han and Chewie. As I block the light, you can just barely make them out. The non-raised dish, the 6 vents, the single-barreled turret. Now, on the underside, there are only a couple of mismatched panels. So most of those were done with the decals, with the noted exception of that one, which I painted in. I also painted that one in. The instrument bays, or whatever you want to call them, equipment bays, just got a black wash in them to bring out the detail, and just a hint of weathering around them. Of course, you come around the main engine. I didn't make any attempt to weather that, but I'm not that worried about it. And of course, the very different looking docking rings. These are not the other style that the solo version of the Falcons got. Now, on this one, ran into a couple of problems that I needed to fix with glue. The guns have a tendency to want to pop off, as did the dish. So those are actually glued into place rather than just relying on the pins and stuff. Now, before I start rambling here, I'm going to stick some stills in and call this portion of the build done.